agentic AI is like very, very powerful technology, but at the same time, it's very, very harmful too.
Welcome back to another episode of Stand Out Before RSA. The goal of this series continues to be very simple. We're looking to spotlight cybersecurity leaders who are bringing clarity and meaningful differentiation and discussion to an increasingly crowded market, especially as we lead into RSA in a couple weeks. Right now, as we all know, cybersecurity is noisy and continues to only get noisier. So the conversation today is aiming to discuss the problems that security teams are having and actually struggling with day to day, and what companies are doing to truly solve those problems. So today I'm joined by Lokesh Koli, founder and CEO of Vector Edge. Vector Edge is focused on helping organizations strengthen their defenses by combining advanced threat detection, automation, and AI-driven security intelligence to help security teams identify and respond to threats more effectively. So Lokesh, great to see you. Great to have you here with us today.
Yeah, nice to see you, Gary, too.
Great. So let's just jump right in, Lokesh. I think this is kind of a standard question to kick us off, but the customers and folks that you guys are talking to on a daily basis, what are the challenges that they are facing when they come to you to that they're trying to solve? And I guess secondarily, how does your product and solution solve for those problems?
Nice question here, first of all. The thing is, once we are solving the problem here for most of our customers are from regulated industries, specifically from fintech, insurance company, and you can say mortgage insurance or mutual funds kind of thing, where the problem they are facing here are twofolds. One is basically related to their data in cloud, maybe, and then a number of applications they might be using. So let's say they are using collaborative applications, something in Google Drive, or maybe Jira, or maybe Slack, or Notion. Okay. Now, first problem they are facing is they don't know where is the sensitive data lying. Okay, first of all. And we are talking to one of the few digital banks. Their problem is related to, let's say, because there is use case which they have given us, or their particular use cases is like in the digital bank scenario, they use customer support, let's say support at the rate abc.com. And once the customers actually they are issuing the credit card or something corporate card, generally sometimes these customers give them the sensitive information, then the email to support people, and that email is then created into a Jira ticket, and then that Jira ticket is shared into the Slack. So what happens is this whole conversation with the sensitive information is transferred now from the email to Jira, then Jira to Slack. That's where actually the problem lies, is because right now suddenly you are exposed your system or the sensitive information of the customer, not only from you have leaked into the system, like from your email to the Jira and then to the Slack. So how to solve this problem? There are 2-3 solutions which we are approaching here. First thing is, secondly, there is another problem, which is, let's say somebody is using Google Drive or OneDrive. Now, let's say one document is somebody is trying to create a new document, which might be your internal customers, because internal employees or vendors kind of thing, they might have certain sensitive information which they don't know to whom to share. This is the second problem I'm saying, maybe in your organizations, let's say, it's particularly Notion. Notion is I don't want to say it's not meant for regulated industry, first of all. And something which is let's say ServiceNow or Salesforce, these also are not so good at data security point of view. So what our organization does is basically find out the sensitive part of the information and try to automate this kind of thing, okay, and try to mask it or see the data lineage kind of thing, where the data is there, how you can regulate so that's what we do.
So it sounds like the problem that you're seeing is a technical one, right? And sort of the transfer of data. But is there also an organizational component to that in terms of folks aren't thinking properly about the security and the threats, right? So there's more than one prong to the problem. Is that fair to say?
Yes, definitely. Because these days, people are more prompt to using AI stuff. Okay, everybody is wants to use Chat GPT for like a summarization of, let's say, notes. So everybody is in an organization right now. They want to experiment with this technology. Now, suddenly, what has happens is, let's say your enterprise sales number, somebody is trying to get a good report out of it, but the thing is, they have exposed that crucial numbers to the chat gpt. Suddenly that information is exposed outside of the organization, which should not be exposed. So that those are the scenarios which I we are seeing commonly. And in a regulated industry, specifically in the regulated industry, this is like very, very harmful. They are very, very prone to all these things, and they want to safeguard their employees information as well as customer information. So that's where actually we are seeing these problems too.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of user error there, certainly. So,
Yes, correct. Definitely.
um, I want to ask you just kind of in the macro, right? Obviously, there's a lot of things happening. As I said, a lot of very noisy industry at this point. But what are some misconceptions that you see about cybersecurity that businesses really need to change their mindset about? Right? They think they have it nailed, but they're thinking about things incorrectly. Can you share a few of those?
Yep. First of all, the misconception is like whenever we talk to CISOs or to, let's say, head of information security, generally people say, "Oh, I am being covered." Like, okay, like that is their first answer. I'm being covered. I have not been, like, my data has not been leaked. So it is like, I'm like, my system is working fine. Okay. I have talked to numerous, you can say, fintech companies, fintech government organizations, something, and they are pretty confident when they like. We were talking to one of the, you can say, like you can say corporate law group. Okay. And corporate law group, this company was using, essentially, they were using Microsoft. And they are saying, oh, we have the Microsoft E5 license and everything. So we are covered. No need for a data security platform, or let's say insider risk management platform separately, or maybe malware detection separately. We don't need it because we are already covered, because Microsoft is giving you all of the things. But as the things, like, once you feel the once you get hacked kind of thing, the customer which actually we are talking to, they specifically got hacked in 2021, 2022. And then that's where they realize, oh no, we need a specialized service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just don't need a broad level of security. We need a specialized service because we are doing a specialized work for our customers. We are into fintech, we are into regulated industry. We need to protect this information. And by law, if you don't protect this one, they are being charged right now. And that's what actually is not only that, because by covering the web, if they use the specialized services, they are able to better protect their information, better put cybersecurity, good hygiene, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is missing in most of the organizations. So I would rather say, like, especially in the era of AI, I would say this hygiene is not this should not be an afterthought. Right now, it should be the main concern, because each and everybody is trying to make productivity there of the AI. So until you secure your sensitive information, I would say, like, take a look at it. What are the sensitive information is there? How it is secured? You should have a like complete context of the information which you are having, your customers are having, or customer data, employee data, or your sales data kind of thing. So, and once you are thorough, then definitely AI adoption is good, because your productivity also increases, your security increases, your customer gets more confident in using softwares. So your brand reputation is stick to it. Now, I will give you an example. Right now, I won't say the company name, but there is a company in which, like, it's from South Korea. Recently, they got hacked, and half of the populations of South Korea data was hacked. Okay. And company was like, you can say they were very confident. Okay, all the things are working fine, something like that. Now they should, I believe, if somebody is confident, they should reassess those, especially in the AI era.
Sure. Sure. You know, it's funny. I hear you keep saying the word hygiene in that answer, right? And then my brain, my non-technical brain, goes to it's like the dentist tells you to brush your teeth and floss to prevent cavities. It's like the
Yes, correct.
cybersecurity version of that, right? Getting ahead, making sure you're doing the things day to day to stay ahead of the problem, so you don't have cavities and root canals
Correct.
and things in the future, and all the painful things that no one wants to do. Stay ahead of the simple things and make the steps in the right direction proactively, so the reactionary things
Yes.
aren't as painful in the back end. If that, is that a safe way to say it?
Yeah, you summed it quite well, Gary. Here.
Well, my wife works for a dentist, so I think I have that different perspective, right? So let's talk, Lokesh, about Vector Edge, right? Talk to me a little bit as if you were explaining to me, whether a CISO or a leader of an organization, if I'm evaluating of tools in your space, like what makes you guys different? What do you guys do that differentiates and kind of makes you guys unique?
Yeah, so there are two differentiators, I would say, in this crowded market we have been associated with. First thing is our software is completely on-prem. Okay, once you install our software, it will be completely in on-prem, whether in enterprise private data center or in cloud enterprise, maybe in AWS, GCP, or Azure. That is first thing. So your none of the enterprise sensitive data is moving out of the company's network. Okay. And secondly, we provide a unified platform for managing both your on-prem data assets plus cloud data assets. Okay. Through a single unified platform, you can control the policies which you want to apply for your, let's say you want to apply certain policies or regulation policies for on-prem data assets. Okay, in the on-prem data assets, let's say you're an enterprise is having finance department, so they require certain policies to be implemented. Let's say for the sales, some different policies has to be implemented. Okay, as per the regulated information, which regulated, you can say regulation which you want to implement. So you can control that through a single unified platform. It gives you that, as well as the uh, not only policies, you can also do the runtime also. We can block the information, we can actually encrypt the information. Let's say somebody is trying to move a certain piece of information, sensitive information, from OneDrive to his local laptop. Okay, how do you prevent that? Or if you are seeing certain kind of information, let's say somebody is trying to move copy a Notion document to his local document. So all those things we cover to a unified. And so not only data like classification, data discovery, insider risk management, we also cover runtime. So that's our main tool. Like,
Gotcha. Okay, great. And obviously in the age of AI, right? We're in the probably at the start of it, scarily enough, right? Of everyone adopting AI, but how, if at all, is AI woven into your product and solution?
yes.
And then I guess more broadly, how do you see AI playing a role in cybersecurity just at large?
Yes, correct, correct. Yeah, so our hypothesis at Vector Edge is like AI adoption will be at the edge or on the devices where near to the data source. Okay, not at the cloud.
Hmm.
Okay, so if like there are two advantages of it. It is first thing is the AI model. It sits closer to your data. You don't have to send your data to OpenAI or ChatGPT or somebody else. You can use and you can train your model as per your data. So that's where we are seeing the evolution, or you can say more and more adoption of the custom foundational, like custom built models, which are small and medium large language models people are using, and they are trying to enhance those models so that they're, first of all, it caters to their business needs, their vertical. Let's say in finance, I would say banking, credit card, insider risk, fraud management kind of thing, or in traditional like a banking, let's say loans kind of thing. They're creating these small models as per their vertical. So that is one thing. Second thing in this is agentic AI is like very, very powerful technology, but at the same time, it's very, very harmful too. It's like a naughty boy, which is basically a naughty kid you are having, and he's trying to do each and everything. You like the whatever he is doing, but at the same time, it's a risky too. Okay, he might break a table of a glass or something. So you have to take care of all those things too. So that's where actually I see the market is being driven by, if somebody is having a solution wherein you can install that model locally with the agentic AI capabilities given to it, so that they feel more comfortable in sharing the data with the model and getting trained up for it. And the runtime is really very good. So let's say if something goes wrong, they can actually correct there and that's it. They don't have to depend on something else. So Vector Edge definitely has brought in, you can say, we have created our own small and model medium large language models or language models for this, which actually sits on top of the sensitive data. So you don't have to send your data outside. We have created a secure SDK right from the scratch, which is basically takes care of all the secured communication. And secondly, we are right now working on bringing the agentic AI solution to it. So both of these things we are covering, and that's what actually it makes our solution like differentiating.
Oh, that's great. No, that's definitely an interesting spin on it, certainly. So, I would kind of, as a follow up, I'd be curious to hear your feeling on where sort of the human expertise blends in with the AI, right? Whether that's on the Vector S
Yes.
side or the client side or both, right? Who
Yes.
who's interacting, I guess, with the AI, and how can he or she or they prevent issues, from kind of getting out of control?
Yep. Yeah, that's a really very good question. The thing is here, when I say we are training our models, small and medium language models, it's the client's data which we are training on. So they are very much involved. So if they use our language model for detecting some of the data, sensitive data, now they can clearly say, oh, this is wrong, or this has to be corrected, this has to be fine-tuned, this is not correct. And then we have to retune our like model as per their data. And that's where actually like it's a reinforcement, you can say. Humans actually are helping us tune our model in a much better way as per their needs. So that is where actually the humans are definitely involved as a, you can say, inspector or the verifier.
Mm,
Okay,
yep.
that is what actually is needed. And secondly, the definitely as the user of that, they need more control, because they need to increase the productivity because you have the AI agents and all. But at the same time, being uh like let's say in a regulated industry, every insider employee has certain obligations towards the law. And sometimes people knowingly or unknowingly, also by mistake, they do some things which has to be brought in under the control of the agentic AI.
Yep.
So
Thanks.
that's where, that is what actually I think that's where the whole evolution of the cybersecurity is going. It's not only fantastic time, but it is challenging times as well. Because at one side you have a technology which is like, it is like ready to bombard you with different tools, productivity gains kind of thing. But at the same time, it has to be controlled in a way which actually suits our needs. We should be
Right.
like, yeah, so that's what actually.
Yeah, big time risk reward, right? So just
Yes.
managing the risk as much as you get the reward on the back end, on
Yes,
the other
correct.
side
Yeah,
of the
yes,
coin,
correct.
certainly.
Yeah, correct.
So Lokesh, knowing that you guys are an earlier stage company, right, and you guys are figuring it all out and bringing great products and solutions to the client, to your customers. How have you positioned your brand just at large, and how have you approached your go to market? Like, how have you brought your product and solution to companies? How have people found out about you? What's that journey been like?
Yep. So that journey has not been so easy for me actually. Like first of all, I would be very much true. It's not easy to bring in that where I am like and one part which is basically has been challenging for me is the messaging part. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes, like you can say, we have figured out some kind of good messaging which is going into the picture because of the regulated industry, because I'm telling you the differentiators. This has resulted in giving us the good traction on the fintech, insurance, and the other side of companies. But at the same time, it has it has its own challenges. We want to cater to some other uh, like verticals also, let's say healthcare kind of thing. So we need a good messaging partner, and that's where I think Magnitude Consulting is helping us. And I look forward to you because yeah, like Gary and I look forward to you in helping us out. So that's where actually, and I frankly speaking, I like the work which you have done over the past few years in this market, and definitely love to be partnered with
Yeah, well, I appreciate the sort of the shout out, right? And certainly that's a your need is not unique to you, right? It's hard to message to, the again, the noisy and crowded market that cybersecurity is. So having that kind of key message is important, and being able to sort of pivot, I guess, as you look to expand and sort of move within the confines of your organization and the market at large. So, but no, I certainly appreciate that. Um, just kind of on the heels of that, just like as we wrap up here, you're a leader at a startup organization. You just said it's not all roses and sunshine. There's bumps along the way, certainly.
you.
What advice would you give to other leaders, CEOs, founders, just in general, as as a kind of an entrepreneur, but also in the cybersecurity space, as you're trying to establish yourself again in that noisy market, and then ultimately grow within the category that you're in?
Our only advice, which actually I will say, is find out your niche and differentiator and work towards it. And it's a noisy market. You have to be a different, you have to find out a differentiator. If you are not able to find a differentiator, becomes really very difficult to sell the product. Building product these days is much easier than the selling the product. Okay. So you have to be always on your toes for finding out the avenues where you can actually speak about your product. Okay. Or you can find out the good messaging point of part, what you are trying to sell, what you are trying to talk, walk the talk kind of thing. So all those things has to be in combination, then only you will be able to find, you can say a successful product is leveraged by the enterprises. Otherwise, it's just you are working in silo and nobody knows about you, even though you might be doing something good work, but nobody knows about it. So that's what.
Right. So really creating that kind of core foundation around the
Yes,
product and,
yes,
and the company at large as a way to,
yes,
kind of
yes.
stand on your soapbox and get your message out to people, certainly.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
Lokesh, as we wrap up, just, where can people connect with you? How can they find out more about Vector Edge?
Yep. So, like, it will be good if we can, can just go to our website, which is vectoredge.io, and definitely go and see our product. You can have see the demos out there, and you can connect me if you want to email me. My name is it's like Lokesh, Lokesh at vectoredge.io. So definitely good uh, to know and solve the problems. You can reach out to me for any consulting kind of thing. Data security is my expertise, and that's what actually Vector Edge does. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Lokesh, this has been a great conversation. In speaking to you and I, we've spoken before, but the thing that stands out just in talking to you, but just in general in the industry, is how quickly everything continues to evolve. Attackers are getting more sophisticated, but the environments that organizations are in are also becoming more complex, right? AI is obviously driving both offense and defense in the industry. And as you said, there's risk and reward in both. So I feel like that's why conversations like this matter, especially heading into RSA. I'm sure there'll be no shortage of new technologies and people making bold claims and whatnot in a couple of weeks. But taking a step back and really being able to understand kind of what security teams are facing is really important. important and how leaders are like yourself are approaching them. So we really appreciate you and helping you, having you share your perspective. So for anyone listening who wants to learn more about Vector Edge, as Lokesh said, please visit their website. We'll include our link to the website in our show notes. So thank you again, Lokesh, for joining us on Stand Out Before RSA, and we hope to have everyone listening in future episodes.